Okay, here we go. This is Garrett. I'm doing a little bit better. I'm still sick, but a little bit better. I wanted to do a fair and honest review of Lord of the Rings, Rise to War 2.0. This is a review of 2.0. I don't want any bias in it. I don't want any garbage in this. I don't want anything in this except the total honesty. Now, we're going to do something different. We're going to start with the bad stuff first. So starting with the bad. When they upgraded the game to 2.0, there was a lot of confusing mechanics. Down here where my mouse is moving used to be tickets that you could click. And we clicked them, and some of us misunderstood what the tickets did, and we messed up some of our characters. Now, 2.0 gave you 10 tickets. You could break down 10 commanders. You can break down the commander 10 times. Sorry about that. 10 times. Each time takes a ticket. And then you can upgrade another commander 10 times. And it wasn't clear, and some of us messed up. And here's the big one right here. This wasn't clear what this did. This equipment conversion was not clear. This is not clear what it does. It's just not clear. And then this one, equipment update. A lot of us made mistakes. There's a multitude of videos on YouTube, people messing up their accounts, messing up their gear, people quitting the game. And I want to be honest with you, I made a major mistake also, which is very humbling. And it hurt me a little bit. It hurt my account a little bit. Now, here's the second thing that's bad. Many of us contacted customer support about the confusion and not understanding how this works. And I've watched some videos on YouTube, and I've had my own experience. Customer support refuses to fix our account. They refuse to give us more tickets. They refuse to undo the mistakes that we made because we did not understand their limited information. So customer support said no to me. No, we're not going to give you any more tickets. And I said, okay. And I said, okay, stayed in a good mood. Now, let's talk about the good. 2.0. There is a lot of good. Number one would be the formations. The formations. I have two armies here. I have Gil-galad as the leader of this formation, and I have Dane as the leader of this formation. These formations are fantastic, and let me explain why. Back in the day, when you played on the good side, you would use your Gandalf with a gigantic army, Gandalf all by himself, marching down, taking tile after tile, dominating the game. Some of us would use Dwalin, same way. Some of us might use Gimli, same way. But now in 2.0, you have 4 different commanders to choose from. So instead of just walking down, hold on, let me fix my phone. Sorry about that, everybody. Instead of just walking down the map with Dwalin or Gimli, now you have multiple choices here. And every commander you add here does something different to the armies and the formations and to the enemies. This is fantastic. Next, let's talk about the Red Book. Right here. In 2.0, they fixed it up. These are more fun. They're harder to do. There's actually a little bit of strategy involved now, where in the past there was no strategy at all, and you just simply demolished the computer opponents. But now it's harder, and you have to think a little bit and do some strategy, and that's really cool. Next, let's go to the hospital. Now, my hospital is empty. I haven't been fighting yet. The troops are dying a lot faster now, and that is a very good thing. Now, if you're confused why, let me explain. Before 2.0, you could use Gandalf or Dwalin, and your troops really don't die much. And what that does is it makes everybody too powerful, and the whole campaign is decided in the first 2 weeks. Literally, in the first 2 weeks, the whole campaign would be decided because your troops aren't dying, everyone's too powerful, we're conquering too much land, and after 2 lousy weeks, the whole war is decided. And we don't want that. You don't want that. So the troops are dying faster now. Please let me explain why very quickly. Before 2.0, you would have Gandalf or Dwalin with a huge army here, and they're healing their army. Dwalin is healing, Gandalf is healing, and no one is really dying much. Now, the game doesn't work like that anymore. Now, when you fight, there's very few healers in the game to begin with, and your troops are dying quickly. And what it's doing is it's slowing down the game, and that's fantastic. Now, before I go any further, I wanted to share with you about the topic of pride. Everybody has pride. There is pride in our flesh. What is the flesh? It's that sinful carnal nature that everybody has. Everybody has had the flesh except Jesus. He's the only one that had no flesh. So number one, we got pride in our flesh, our sinful carnal nature. Our flesh is connected to our soul and to our heart and to our mind. It's a nature. It's like a spirit. Then, I'm trying to breathe. I'm still sick. Then we have a demon of pride. I've been dealing with this demon for years and years, and I want to share with you, I believe I have enough factual evidence in my life to share with you that the demon of pride is very real, and he is a real entity. Building some cataphract. So we got pride in our flesh. We have a demon of pride. And let's continue on the good parts. Let's go back to the army. You know, back in the day, all you needed was a Gandalf, a Dwalin, a Gimli, and one of your legendary commanders, and you could play the entire campaign with those 4 commanders. You really didn't need anybody else. In 2.0, oh man, they fixed this up extensively. Each army can hold, I think it's a maximum of 4, but possibly 5. There might be a 5th army coming. I don't know yet. That means these 4 guys are very important, but you need a 2nd army. So 4 more guys are now very important. And you need a 3rd army. Sorry, I've been using King Aragorn with Aragorn, maybe Boromir, and maybe Faramir. Maybe these 4 guys together to make a 3rd army. And guess what? You can have a 4th army, and I think you can have a 5th army. And what that does is that makes everybody here important. And that's what we need. I hated it before, that all you needed was Gandalf, Dwalin, and Gimli. That was so lame, such terrible design. Now you need your entire group of commanders. They're all going to be important. Now, let's be honest. Your most powerful army is most important. Your second army is extremely important. And then when we get down to number 3, a little bit less important. Number 4, a little bit less. But they are extremely important. You need multiple commanders now, and that is fantastic. I want you to know on my main channel, we have over 1,100 videos. We have a gigantic selection on the topic of pride and working on humbling yourselves. Now, Satan is not in control of the demon of pride that is coming against you. That would be a lesser truth. The greater truth is God is in control, ruling through his son Jesus. It is Jesus who is dominating the demonic realm. And he's using this demon of pride as a dumb farm animal to have you war against it, working on humbling yourselves. Amen to that. Now, they fixed up the UI. Everything is just better looking. Everything is easier to use now. Everything's in a better place now. The store up there, all of this. It's a lot easier to use. They have a huge help section here with live videos you can watch. They fixed up the UI. Now here's the big one. They slowed down the game. The game will not be decided in the first 2 weeks any longer. We've been playing 1 week. Let me scroll out. And you can see Linden over here. We're over here, Gondor. We haven't captured a keep yet. We're a little bit weak. We're struggling. We're not doing as well as the other armies. But after 1 week, you can see that the game is pretty much evenly matched, somewhat so. And nobody's dominating and nobody's taking over the map so fast anymore. They slowed down the game. They got rid of the gold. Here, let me show you the market. They got rid of the gold. They got rid of the gold levy. They got rid of the gold bonuses. The troops are dying faster. They're slowing down everything, and that's fantastic. Now, last but not least is the gear. The gear changes. Yeah, let's use Gil-galad here. The gear change, is that a plus or a minus? A lot of people on the internet got angry because the game forced us to switch our gear to 2.0 gear. Let me show you so you see this. Sharp blade, attack plus 20. Let's go to Gimli now. Gimli's using the thick armor, defense plus 20. So what they did is they now gave us a bonus if you have all 4 units as the same, where in the past you could mix match anything you want. It really didn't matter in the past. I think the gear is much better now, even though it is a big change. It just seems to be a lot better. Now you got to work on strategies. Now you got to match up gear with each person. Now you have to have a complete set. I know there's a lot of haters on the internet who hate 2.0. And the reason why is human beings, normally speaking, we hate change. We hate when our girlfriends or husbands change something. We hate when our boss changes our work. A lot of us hate when we have to move. And I get it. I get it that we hate change, but in my unbiased opinion, in my totally honest opinion, 2.0 is absolutely fantastic. If you quit the game because of the changes, come on back. The formations alone are so much better in the past. If you're new to the game, I would say definitely play this game, because with 2.0, this is a really good game now. And they slowed it down, and they slowed down the whales. They slowed down all of it. And I just praise God. We're battling against pride in our flesh. We're battling against a demon of pride. He's trying to hurt you by making you prideful. He's trying to hurt you by building up your ego. He's trying to hurt you by making you think you're special, and making you think you're different, and making you think that you're better than everyone else. We want to go to war against all of this. We want to be working on humbling ourselves day and night, non-stop, the best we can, with the grace that God is giving us. Amen to that.